Hey, welcome to the Chasing Rings Super Bowl 60 post game show. Interesting game. Woo! Man,
29-13.
congratulations to the Seattle Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 champs. One of the most impressive defensive performances we've seen. Definitely goes down in history. Man, where do we begin, fellas?
I was a big condolences to New England's O line. Condolences.
Poor Will
Yeah.
Campbell. Oh, the memes that I've received already. Oh,
Oh my
but
Yeah.
goodness.
I'll tell you what, I think the guy's going to be good. So he'll look back on this one day and it's, just one of them things. He was a rookie. He'll learn. But
Yeah.
man, what an impressive performance by Seattle's defense. This score is going to look a little bit closer than this game actually was. But I mean, I'm thinking it was going to be the first shutout in Super Bowl history for a minute there.
I'm gonna tell you, I'd be curious to know when all is said and done, and some of the insiders, start speaking with coaches and players. I want to know what happened that allowed New England just march down the field like that
Mm.
and score the
So,
touchdown. That second
yeah,
touchdown, the way they just
yeah.
marched down the field on them. I need to know
hmm
what was going on in Seattle's mind that allowed that. That just seems so out of character for the game.
Yeah, that's a great point. And they hadn't let a receiver get behind them the entire game. And I mean, Mac
Nope.
had it beat pretty easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Out of all the receivers to beat somebody deep. Not that, I love Mac, but you wouldn't think he'd be the one to beat somebody deep like that.
Yeah, you expect Diggs to do it, but
Yeah, or that Butte guy who has done that a few times this year. But whew, man, I
Yeah.
feel exhausted. I feel like I played. I feel exhausted.
man, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
But you
And,
know
and, and
what?
who good.
I believe New England. Of course, Seattle is pretty much set up. I expect them to be contenders for a while. But I
hmm
do believe New England has some pieces in place. I think they need to go into the draft and the off season, the free agency season, and plug in some holes. Um, this is one of those games that reminds me of something that an old football coach said was that you have to have backup linemen on both sides of the ball who can plug in like plug and play. So you
hmm
say a team who can get too deep on the line, they're going to be good all the time. And I'm telling you, this was a perfect example of that.
Yeah, and that's tough to do. You haven't seen too many teams in history who've been able to do that because it's hard. It's hard to get guys across the board, let alone to have a backup who is viable across the
Hmm.
board. But yeah, I agree with you. It makes a hell of a difference, and I mean that's when we first started to dissect this matchup. It was the thing that we harped on over and over and over again, the interior. Who wins the battle at the line is going to win this game. And
Right.
consistently for almost the entire four quarters. I mean, I think Seattle picked its spot certainly towards the end. I think they slacked
Yeah.
up a little bit, but they could have easily had 10 sacks tonight on this kid. They really could have. I was a little bit in shock as the sack total started to run up. And I actually lost track of his turnovers and sacks this
It was
postseason.
seven sacks.
Well, actually, it
Uh,
was six. It was actually
six.
six because they took away the sack because they gave number seven Nawasu. They gave him a pick six. So
I
since
thought it
they
was
called
seven
an
after they took.
interception, they
I thought
didn't
it was
call a
seven
sack.
after they took that away, though.
Okay.
Huh?
I thought Al
They had
Michaels said it
six.
was seven after they. It was
I
six.
thought. That's what
Okay,
they
because I
thought.
thought that too, big dude. I thought it was 6-2. But Al Michaels said, "Well, now it's seven since that counted as an interception." But I had six as well.
Mm-hmm.
In either case, Mr. May was sacked 22/23 times during the playoffs, and I actually lost track of the turnovers and fumbles. That's how poorly he played in the playoffs. And people can debate it. I'm not making it up. Look up the statistics. Look back at the four playoff games counting the Super Bowl. he did not play well in any of these games. And if you look at the MVP voting that took place the other night, for him to be that close to Matthew Stafford, come on. I think we so readily look for this next great quarterback, especially because it's the Patriots and Tom Brady. This dude could go on and win 5 Super Bowls. He's not going to be Tom Brady.
No,
those type of dudes do not come along that often. He might be, he could be Tom Brady Jr. if that's what you want to do, but he's not going to be Tom Brady. You're not going to replace. I think New England fans think you're just we're good now. We're going to get 7 more or 6 more Super Bowls. Well, that's not really how it works.
Right.
Ask San Francisco if that's how it works. Ask Dallas if that's how it works. Ask Pittsburgh if that's how it works for those teams that had dynasties. You don't repeat that. You don't replicate that. If they did, it would be something for the ages. But anyways, my rant, man, about Drake May. He's the Drake May that I saw play at UNC. I'm not saying he's not going to get better, but that's the Drake May. The Drake May we've seen over the last month is the Drake May that I saw at North Carolina that I wouldn't have drafted. Who wants the floor next?
Well, being a Carolina fan, that was the thing about Drake May. He showed those flashes, man. Like
yes,
when he's dialed in, but basically what you saw today, it'd be just too many times where he would just make some bad decisions. This dude was sacked 6 times today. Had 2 fumbles and a turnover and an interception. 2 interceptions and a fumble. And I'm like, you can't win like that. And obviously he was under pressure. So, I have to give it to New England. It could have been worse, I would think.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually expecting it to be worse. You all know I thought it would be 35-10. So they did better than I expected, and Seattle didn't do as well as I expected. So defensive game. I can't remember which one of you said that it would be a defensive game, but some key big plays will be the difference. I can't remember which one of you said that, but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah. Can we think of a quarterback, and we'll open it up to you, next big dude, to add your thoughts. But in adding your thoughts, both of you have we seen a team get to the Super Bowl where the quarterback got sacked on average 5 times in every playoff game and turned the ball over on average twice in each of those playoff games?
I can't think of one. I really can't. And like I said, Drake May made some bad decisions, but you know what? He was scared to death. This is where the grown man part really came with Seattle. But all through the playoffs, I don't know of anyone else. But I think even they were beaten so badly, there was not an offensive lineman that was even willing or could take leadership, because the guy who was supposed to be taking leadership, Moses, he started getting beat really badly as well. He brought the offense down and talked to them. And one of the little comments I made texting is what does he say to himself? Because, and I think I did say maybe an episode or 2 just about his condition. And that's what I realized. By the middle of the third quarter, he's not able to push through that wall. So they've really got to figure out what they're going to do with conditioning, with strength. And I guess they have to find out if they're going to keep Doug Marrone, because that was a tough game for Doug Marrone. Yeah. That was not a good game to go down in history. So 3 games in a row, as you say, Guru, 5 sacks a game, that doesn't add up to coming back. I think it's going to be a matter of the mindset next year, to figure out how they're going to climb through it again. It's because it's going to take a whole lot. And I give it to New England for the turnaround, but we saw the difference between the NFC and the AFC this year. And Seattle just did a nice job of pressure. And in the second half, actually, to tell you the truth, they didn't blitz as much in the first half, and they still got them. And I think the first series that New England had in the second half, they got the ball back, did nothing with it at all, makes a terrible. Makes a terrible throw, and then Arnold, on the other hand, gets hit and makes the throw he needs to make. That changed the game.
And what about Darnold stepping up to those times that should have been sacks or, man, just like perfect timing to just elude the rush. So many missed passes by him tonight, too. This could have been so much worse.
He was off.
Yeah, he was.
He was
pressure
off.
do that to you, though. I think pressure did it to both of these quarterbacks. They're both more accurate than that. They both were around 70%. I think May was 70% during the regular season, and Darnold was like 67 point.
Right.
So, I mean, that pressure, man, makes a hell of a – I can't wait to see what their percentages were tonight, but I know that at one point they were both at 50-something.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was definitely not a good quarterbacking game today.
So, yeah, I mean, we're talking about New England and what they didn't do. And congratulations to the New England Patriots on a tremendous season. I mean, from where they were last year, regardless of, what myself and everyone else is saying about their schedule, you still got to play who's in front of you, and you still somehow got to find a way to win it. However it panned out, whoever they had to play, they still made it to the last dance. So congratulations to them. But Seattle, man,
Phew.
what a performance. And I almost feel like at first I was like, well, what are they doing that's so great? But then after the fifth punt and then the sixth punt and then the seventh punt, I'm like, yo, they are shutting this. I mean, New England's offense is not that bad to punt that many times in a row.
Right.
So they had a nice scheme dialed up. And Michael McDonald's, that's his forte, is that defense. And man, he drew it. He outcoached Vrabel tonight. And that's one of the things that we talked about, the experience versus the newbie. And I think we had talked about McDonald being such a smart coach and the supporting cast he had. I would love to see the backstories to this, especially Leslie Frazier's involvement, because we'll hear all about that stuff on NFL Network. At some point, probably a year from now. But Leslie came in and told us this, and that was the key to the victory. But man, I would love to know what their thought was going into this game in terms of how they were going to put the type of pressure they did on May throughout the whole game. I mean, even at the end, they were on my boy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, and it was like you said, there was nobody else. And you mentioned the depth, G, in the offensive line. The tough part about NFL teams, they don't really carry more than nine. I guess no more than 9 linemen, the offensive linemen, 8 usually, and maybe 1 or 2 on the practice squad. So
Big dude, you try to get a guy too that can play more than one way too, right, big dude?
Right. Yeah, if you can. I know some tight ends. There's some tight ends that can play also defensive line. You use their athleticism the way you could use it, and then some tight end and one is not going to play. That might be your backup left tackle. So and that's how some people change it. That's what Jason Peters did. Jason Peters was a tight end, and then he changed over to tackle. And you'll get and Andy Heck did that. That used to be with Notre Dame. He was a tight end, and then he switched over to tackle.
Andy Heck, yeah, I remember.
Yep, he was a tight end at first. Converted tight end.
Linemen are a premium.
Yes.
Yeah, I keep looking up to see if they announced the MVP yet. Have you guys heard yet? I don't think they've announced it yet.
Let me see. I
haven't seen it.
I actually tuned away. Let me see.
They presented the trophy. Was Kenneth Walker? Yep, Kenneth Walker was the MVP. Okay. Congratulations to Kenneth Walker. Man, that's a tough one.
That's not a bad choice, though.
Oh, not a terrible choice at all. I'm not debating it
at all.
Usually, when a kicker kicks that many field goals, though, that's usually your MVP. But
didn't he have a record? Wasn't this a record number?
Yes, it was.
Yes,
that's why I can't believe he didn't get it to be and Kenneth Walker. How about if he had got that last touchdown? He would have probably been 175.
And how about this? Think about this: all the Super Bowls that have passed, he's the first running back to win MVP since Terrell Davis.
1998, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what year it was. Whenever they won,
that's what I was going to use. That's what I was going to use for my what moment. I almost used that.
I don't know about that one, man.
What?
I mean, no doubt he did he did well for himself, no doubt about that.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't put up to what 20. How many field goals was kicked?
5.
Did he get
Today?
15? Yeah,
Five.
15
Yeah,
points.
he didn't
He
put up
almost beat him by
15 points.
himself.
Right. You didn't put up 15 points.
Yeah.
That's why I thought the kicker would win it because he put up points.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And Walker, he didn't get to the end zone, did he?
No, but he had some damn important runs and plays. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he
And
did.
just
He
a
had
side note
back-to-back
too.
runs and plays.
Side note too, and we'll have, I'm sure, a show about this at some point because I have certain view on this whole concussion protocol thing. Man, you can't tell me that Jay is in past no concussion protocol.
Hard to believe.
I just don't believe that. But
Very hard to believe.
play along with it.
Mm.
Play along with it.
I don't.
Yeah, it's only his health and well-being. I mean, I think they need to really take another look at that. I don't really think it really benefited them to even have him back in the game. Even if that's where I'm not sure about McDonald. I say, you know what, leave him out.
Yeah,
because you had Cup, and now you got AJ in the game, the tight end. You know, you had all that stuff going on, and you're running the ball, and all you got to do is finish him.
Right.
Speaking of Cup got him another ring.
Yeah, how about that? How about that, man? And he battled hard, and those guys, let me tell you something, they were on him. They didn't give him any space, and he didn't back off.
That was a physical game. I tell you what, man, that New England defense, they impressed the hell out of me. They are shit. I don't know what he did to make them better, this much better, but that's a different team than I saw in the regular season.
Yeah, that's what I thought today. And, you know, I mean, they weren't going to have a chance necessarily to win at first, I said, but, you know, they put themselves in a position. The defense certainly proved to everybody else, hey, we can stay with anybody.
I mean, you got to figure as long as they held them to all those field goals, I mean, your offense ultimately has got to show up at some point.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know,
exactly.
But Sam Darnold,
what are New England's offseason needs?
Great segue. For me, I think they need a more of a superstar wide receiver. Personally, I like Diggs, of course, but he's at the tail end of his career. Mac Hollins is a journeyman. I don't know how good this Butte kid can be, but I think they're missing that on the outside. I think they're set at their running backs, and what we saw tonight, obviously, they need some O-line.
Yeah,
I would say O-line for them would be the biggest need.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm thinking. I mean, for them, they're probably lucky to just have. We need to focus here.
Yeah, I mean they can get away with that wide receiving core, so I would go O-line.
I agree.
I'm trying to see.
Yeah, but we'll have to see. I mean, Jared Wilson, the left guard, though, the guy from your hometown, he had a rough game. Nobody really talked about.
Had a bad night.
Yeah, he just got manhandled. I mean, he simply did.
I tell you one thing: if they're the type of players, both of them, the offensive, the guard and the tackle, if they're the type of people that learn from experience, they're going to come back next year beasting. You watch. That's if they learn from it.
Yeah, and I think that he was a legit pick. He's from LSU, wasn't the tackle that was getting killed? Isn't he from LSU?
Yes.
Yeah, so I think he's a legit pick. I mean, he got rookie tonight, is what happened to him.
Basically.
Yeah.
New England's got the 31st pick. New England has the 31st pick, so you're not going to get anything. I mean, you can, catch lightning in a bottle, but you're not getting one of the top OLs with the 31st pick. And maybe they can get a veteran free agent too that still got some miles on them.
You know what? Maybe they got 11, 12 picks. They may be able to move up and get a tackle.
That's true. And I mean, it would be an attractive place to go if you're a free agent. I mean, you have a team that just was the runner up. Yeah, I'll join you next year and help you get over the top.
Yep. Because honestly, one thing we saw, if Drake May has time, he can actually throw some good passes.
I think the fact that he can use his legs so well and get out of there, and you can call design runs for him. Definitely the future's bright. I was a little bit in jest when we were texting during the game. I think that there's so many teams to go through, and I just think that they caught the right matchups this year. It's kind of what they were saying about my boys. Like, man, you could, even though you're the 6th seed, this is kind of the year you might be able to get through this thing. And I think that, that at New England had that same advantage. These matchups could have ended up much differently. And, you get a different CJ Stroud, you get a healthy Chargers team, you end up having to play maybe the Jags. So many things change from year to year with these teams and the playoffs. It's just, I think we're not in that age anymore where you're like, oh, well, they're the runner-up, so I'm sure they'll be back next year. I mean, look at Seattle's end of it. There's no guarantee Seattle's coming back because you got the Rams to deal with. I would think San Francisco will be better, so it's going to be the same thing with that division next year. Not to mention the other teams in the NFC. You got the Eagles, Green Bay. I think that whole NFC East next year will be a problem. I think all of those teams are going to be good in the NFC East.
Be more competitive anyway.
I mean, the NFC probably still be the stronger conference.
Going
to be as competitive as ever. In football, the NFL might be at a point where they're going to be looking at some really good competitive years because you got a lot of nice young talent in the league. And I think we got to the point that I knew we were building to is almost every team has a franchise quarterback, almost every team. And that's very rare.
I never thought about that. Wow, that's pretty rare.
I mean, think about it. We can easily probably count who does not have a quarterback. Everybody in your division has a quarterback, big dude.
Yeah.
Everybody in the NFC. Who's in the NFC North? Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. Who are we missing?
Yeah.
Minnesota.
Atlanta doesn't have one.
Minnesota. Okay, let's go to the South. Atlanta.
I don't think they have a true one.
The Saints. The Saints don't have one.
Right.
And then what division are we missing?
Tampa Bay has one.
Yeah.
You can argue Cleveland doesn't have one right now. You can argue that.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep track of the teams in the NFC. I got 4 in the NFC. And then AFC, we got Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Jets,
Colts,
Dolphins. You might have
what's the Titans?
They got Cam Ward, and I'll give him that for the time being. I think that he has the potential. Yeah. And I shouldn't say franchise quarterback. I should say most of the teams have the quarterback that either is their franchise or think will be their franchise quarterback. So I'll preface that because even Indianapolis, Daniel Jones, if he's what we saw during the year, they're good. So all the teams in that division would be fine. So I just think that you have more high-level quarterbacks. Almost every team has one, and that's what makes the league so competitive because that's what makes it go.
Yeah. I tell you, I agree with you, though. The coming years are definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, we may even start getting down to some levels of parity, I hope.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. I mean, yeah, people talking about people's playoff windows closing and all of that. You never know what you're going to get wrong.
Yeah, that's negativity.
Yeah,
that's true. And then too, sometimes people just say stuff because they have to say something for content purposes.
Yep.
And they'll just say anything.
Yeah. So thinking about next year, and since I just said that it could be all over the place, who do you think will be the teams to beat next year?
I can't answer that until after I see how the draft and
I'm saying as if you had to say today, based on what we just saw, where the teams are right now before the draft, what teams would you expect should be factors again in each conference?
I think the Rams will be back. I think the Rams will be back. And I think the Broncos will make another run at it also. Jacksonville will probably, I think, challenge the Broncos.
I agree.
That's what I'm looking at. I think the AFC might have a better playoff next year.
I'm curious to see if that Houston defense can repeat what it did this year. I really hope they can because I want to see what they can do with CJ at his best? If
I
that's
hope
their
he gets
answer.
CJ at his best.
That's what I was gonna say. If that's the answer, maybe they have to move on. I guess we'll find out next year.
Well, how long do you give CJ? Just next year?
I think at this point, yeah, I
So
would.
next year is what, year 4?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because people are moving on. Did I just see, and anybody get the wrong information? Did I see that the Kansas City moved on from Pacheco, or did I miss that? Somebody just text.
I didn't see that, but I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't see it.
Yeah,
though.
yeah. I don't see them signing him to a bigger contract. I mean, he did good as they're not going to give him the second one. I don't think. There's another example. Kansas City finding out what they're doing.
Yeah, in his style of play, you're not going to last that long. He runs very violent, and you know the life of a running back, how that is.
Yeah, he's a tough kid.
Yeah, you're right, big dude. They're likely moving on from him and going to let him go to free agency.
Oh,
that's going to be a heck of a free agent pickup for somebody.
Yeah, and it's going to be a heck of a pickup because I think they'll also make out money wise. It'll also be a good deal. I don't think they're going to get the bank broken on him. I don't think they really can yet. I mean, his original contract was just what's the minimum? Was the NFL minimum, and it was $5 million but it wasn't guaranteed, or three. I think it was 3.9 million or something like that. But it wasn't guaranteed. But I think he might have made it.
Oh man, they said they're trying to get a high-end running back, and they have the 9th pick.
Kansas City?
Yep.
Oh man.
So I guess now I got to start delving into team needs.
Yeah, but you know what though? I think Kansas City's the odd man out in the AFC. I just don't. I don't see how they're going to reload that fast to go to where they were with all of these up and coming teams even in their own division, because now you got to deal with Bo Nix now. First it was just Herbert. Now you got to deal with Denver, and the Raiders are going to be good. Give them a few years. So these next few years for Mahomes might be crucial.
Yeah. And he's got to stay healthy. And their O-line is not the best anymore. They are not.
Yeah, they got some choices. They got some decisions to make. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'd draft a running back that high based on what I saw the protection look like for Mahomes this year.
Yeah.
And no receivers on the outside really to threaten anything. But we'll have all the time in the world to delve into the draft. I can't wait. I like looking at that stuff.
But that's like 2 weeks.
We got anything else on this game tonight? Are we ready to sign off this bad boy?
No, just running the ball. I think the value of the running back is back. That's what I say. And I think it has to be because it's really one of the few things that can turn it around now. Now, they must have been listening to you, the Patriots, because they did line up in a power I, but they did it one series.
Mm-hmm. And it worked.
Right. In the first play, it was 8 yards. And then they stopped.
I probably want to ask them is, why didn't you come with Henderson sooner? Because he started getting off at the end.
Yeah.
He did.
They held him back.
I bet you they won't hold him back next year, though.
No. Yeah, I would think that Ramondre Stevenson might be done there. But that's just me. I don't know what their cap and what all their other needs are. I know line, but I don't know what else they're looking to do and who they might lose. But they seem like they're pretty young across the board. I think they're still one of the youngest teams in the league.
Yeah.
So where would you guys rate this, like, as entertaining Super Bowls? I wasn't really that entertained.
Good Lord, big dude.
I'm a big dude. I'm with you. I was not entertained at all. I appreciated the great defense. I do like that. Don't get me wrong. But it was a little bit of, I'm going to go downstairs for a minute. I don't think we're going to miss anything.
No.
You know what? It's kind of messed up what I'm getting ready to say, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If I didn't need to sit down and take notes so I could come back and talk with a little,
Yep.
I probably been up and around doing stuff.
Yep.
Good thing I had some good food, man. Otherwise, it
That's what
was
I'm
a
getting ready to go get
surprise.
some good food as soon as we're done.
Yeah. That saved it. But
It did. It
well,
did.
another good NFL season. Congrats again to Seattle. Thank you for anyone that did join us today. For checking us out and
Yeah, bro.
spending parts
Baby steps.
parts of the day with us. Yep, taking baby steps with this. Still new, but feel free to check us out. Like I said, on all the streaming apps, all the major streaming platforms, and we're gonna stick to it. We go on again Tuesday, recording our regular Tuesday episode. And I guess you gentlemen enjoy. Well, Steph and I, a big dude, we're on the East Coast, so our weekend's pretty much done. Gee, you enjoy what's left of your weekend because you have a few hours left in this day.
I do have a few hours, and I am going to enjoy them.
All right. All right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Big dude, G. Catch you later.
All right,
y'all.
guys. Good evening.